Hey, welcome back to another episode of Maintenance with Mike. So today, as you can see, we've started removing all the big rocks on this walkway that we're going to create. If you haven't seen my last video, go back and watch that one first. It talks about this project in detail of how we're going to do it. I'll put a link for it either here or here. So go back and have a look at that one first. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to continue to loosen up all these big rocks. Then I'm going to go out and I'm going to turn the machine around. I'm going to come back in, then we'll load all these in the bucket. And then we'll show you what the string line's all about here and what it indicates and what we need to dig. So we need to do this in 2 pours. We're going to pour the footing and the wall in 1 pour and then strip the inside of that retaining wall, strip the plywood off of that, and then this slab is going to join up to that. We'll have rebar sticking out of that wall that'll tie into this slab as well. So I'm just going to keep going along, moving all these big rocks, and then still some hidden rocks in here, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Underneath the gravel. But this will give us a nice nice area to work. Oh, you can show. Just trying to find more rocks here that are hidden. I didn't realize all these big rocks were underneath this gravel. Would have kept the backhoe pointed this way. well. Good exercise. Rake some of the gravel. Give me a better, instead of leaning this way, I like to be flat. Oh yeah, roofing nail, that's not good. Don't like seeing those. So we have to kind of do this in a sequence because this string is the center of the wall. So from the center of this string, there's a foot on this side of the string and a foot on this side of the string. That is the footing, which is 3 feet down. So we have to dig a trench here and here. This whole section has to come out, and obviously the footprint of my tractor is wider than what I have left here. So I only get one shot at it to dig the hole and move the dirt, and basically have to go the 3 feet down, 2 feet wide in one shot. If I don't get it right, I'm digging it by hand, because you can't get the machine back in here because the machine's wider than this. So it is a subcompact, but it's still too wide for this. But most tractors wouldn't even fit in this space though, so I'm pretty happy about that. Those are nice, eh?
Hey, I'm gathering.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
And you told me I wasn't going to be on video.
Classy.
Oh. It's a good look.
It's a good look.
More loosening up.
Can't really do much more with the tractor right now. The grass is getting really slippery on that hill, and I don't want to create a new video. BX luges down the front yard. What's going on with that little cedar there?
It's not a cedar.
What is it?
It's a fir. And I need to dig it out.
Okay.
So if you would like to do that.
I gotta take this load.
Okay.
And then, what do you want to do with this?
You need to dig
Crab
it out.
apple? You want to dig that out?
Yeah. Dig it all out. Dig it all out. Song.
We like to sing while we work.
Inspired by my boots.
Okay, so that's the first day. It's as you can see when I go down there, the yard's just too steep with all that weight. It does have good tires on it, the tractor, but it could get away on you.
3 bites.
Mosquitoes are out. Michelle says mosquitoes are out.
Well, I don't know. I saw some creepy spider in here. Had very bright colors on it going. Whew. Stay away. I hate these things.
What's the pull on that?
I'm just gonna impale myself with this. Where should we put this? Does your audience know I have balance issues?
Okay, that's it for today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Okay, we're back. It's another day. I've started doing some work here on the front patio that I want to show you. My goal is to try to, I guess, build confidence for any projects that you might have that are similar to this by trying not to skip a step. I want to try to show you everything, but you know, I don't want the video to become 3 hours long either, right? So let me spin you around here and show you what I'm looking at here and how I've sort of sorted this out. So what we're looking at here is the end of the stairs that go up to the front door. The big patio is here on my right. I found, as I was scooping a bunch of the gravel off the front here, this whole pad was covered in gravel. I thought this was just gravel and dirt. There's actually a concrete landing here that has sunk. So I've dug that out as much as I can, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to form that up to this top stair, and I'm going to pour that so that this pad is actually level when you come off these stairs, and we'll leave this pad here. And what's nice about it is this string line is the center of our wall. So I can actually have the wall come like this and turn and tie into this slab. What I'll do is I'll drill some holes in here and epoxy some rod into that that slab, and then when we pour this, that'll tie. It'll give us a return, which basically builds strength in this wall. Even though most pours like this, or for a shop or a house or whatever, they do 2 pours. They form the footing. They do the stub up rebar out of the footing for the wall, and they pour the footing. Then they wait to dry. Then they strip it, and then they basically pin 2x4s on either side and build the vertical wall. That's called a cold joint between the slab and the wall, where that separation is. That's a cold joint. So this is actually considered a monolithic slab, which, in my opinion, not a professional, my opinion, is this is a stronger wall because it's all poured at once. So we're going to form the slab with a box of 2x10s and put the rebar and all that stuff in the box. And if you can imagine, we're going to cut a 6-inch wide strip in the plywood in the top of the box, place the wall on top of that box, and we're going to pour the concrete through the top of the wall, and it'll travel down inside the wall and it'll fill out the footing. What we're looking at here is a 7-foot measurement from the foundation wall of the house to the center of our wall. So this wall is 6 inches wide at the 3-foot mark, right? Which means that this string, we're doing a 24-inch footing, so that's 12 inches on either side has to be dug out for the footing. And then we also need working space, right? So we're going to actually go from this string, we're actually going to go 15 inches this way and 15 inches this way. That'll give us a 30-inch trench, and we can put our box in, which is 24-inch concrete. So you have to think of all these measurements of the 2x10s too. So we want 24 inches of concrete inside the footing. So when you box this out, the footing actually has to be an extra 3 inches, right? Because you have 1.5 inches of 2x10 on each side, right? So the 24-inch slab is actually 27 inches outside the box, right? And we're doing a 30-inch trench. So it doesn't give us much room to work in there, but as you can see here, I don't want to get too carried away about digging this too wide. So I was going to use form rentals, but the forms are 6 feet tall, and I'm sure you can imagine coming around here with a wheelbarrow and trying to get up to 6 feet to pour that into the wall and then finish it at 3 feet. It doesn't work for this application. This is a really interesting one, right? We want to make sure that the 3-foot wall is finished at the top, and that's where the plywood goes, is right to the top of that. So when we put the wheelbarrow up on the wall to dump the concrete in, we don't have to try to reach up to 6 feet. So that's why I didn't rent forms, which this probably end up costing a little bit more because we're buying 3/4 inch plywood, which is what, 100 and change per sheet, and we probably need 6 or 8 sheets of that right out of the gate. I hope this briefly explains what we've got going on here. We've got a tape measure clipped onto here, which is the end of the wall, and if you run this all out, you'll see here are the other stairs that we want the wall to tie into. So here's the set of stairs, and we want the inside of that wall to come right to here, right, and tie into here. We're going to drill rod into this stair and stub it into the wall and pour concrete. So this total length here is actually 33 feet 11 inches is the actual full length of the pour. I had written 33 down on my measurement just for calculations, but it's actually 33 feet 11 inches. So we'll have to adjust that. We'll have to adjust that for I think we were at 2.6 cubic meters of concrete for the wall and the slab or footing. So we'll have to do that calculation based on 3311 now instead of on 33. So that'll increase slightly, maybe 2.8, 2.7, 2.8 cubic meters of concrete to pour this wall. What we've decided also is we don't really want to build, we don't want too much concrete here. It's not attractive in my opinion. So with further thought on this project, we're going to pour this wall and all that stuff to hold this back and get that all nice. You're going to see an exposed concrete somewhat like this. It'll be 4 inches high above grade to give you a bit of a berm. And we're probably going to pull all this rock out of here, or maybe leave it and put landscape cloth down. And then we're going to use those big rocks that we took out of here to do like stepping stones and bark mulch, because this whole garden is going to be tiered, landscape clothed, and bark mulched. So I think that'll look really nice to have it similar instead of just a big slab running, 34 feet across here. Some people would call that beautiful. I would call that a bit ugly. My opinion. So we're going to go with a nice sort of bark mulch and some stepping stones, and yeah, it'll save us a bit of money as well, and it'll also do what this is trying to achieve, is hold all this back, right, and keep everything solid.